You see that video of Babangida book launching that they raise some certain billions of naira for him. I don't even know the reason why they raised that money. They said maybe for a library or something. But let's be real with ourselves, right? And you know one thing I love the fact that Oshibajo narrated a bit of the history there. He narrated it. He talked about so many things. He talked about how they all planned that coup, from one coup to another, planning each coup, overthrowing each other, putting each other in prison, doing all sorts. And all these people, right? They've been controlling Nigeria since what year, what age? Since it's in their 20s. They've been controlling Nigeria in their 20s. In their 20s, in their 30s, they've been controlling Nigeria. And instead of them to just retire and just, be at the back door, let the young people take over the country, they refuse. They refuse. They are still the one controlling us, right? It's annoying and I don't know. It's, to be honest, even the library they said they want to build for him, does it make sense? For somebody that actually did that lot of damages to Nigeria economy, to Nigeria as a nation, right? It is because I look at that video, I watch a bit of the clip, right? And all the people that I saw there, I just the problem of Nigeria. And I know it's what I'm thinking you are thinking. But I'm not going to say anything. It's just what I'm thinking you might be thinking, that all these people are gathered together. All of them, they are friends. Atiku, Buhari too was represented there. All of them. And Buhari has a reason for not coming, which maybe he's still upset about um, about what happened between. Maybe he's still upset, but for Babangida to put him in prison for 3 years or something, he might still be angry. That's why he sent the representative there. But let's be real, right? Let's face it. Let's be real. Let's be real. These people, right? They don't care about you and me. You see the way President Tinubu was just giggling, laughing. He was so happy that he could sit among these top people. These people have been controlling Nigeria for years, man. For years. And they are not even allowing the younger generation to use their own, their brain. They are not allowing us. They're still calling us, we should go and learn. Some people, if somebody could telling a show, we should go and start from a local government chairman or to go and be, you understand why where Babangida at his early 20s, late 20s or early 20s, he's been controlling Nigeria. You see this young generation of these days, I don't know where they've bastardized your your confidence. Yeah, they've bastardized your confidence. Because you guys don't have confidence in yourself again. You don't believe in yourself again. They've put us in that position that believing in you that you could control, you could be the head of Nigeria, you could be Nigerian president, is not something you could think of. You can't sit down and just say, me too, I want to become a president of Nigeria. You will still be thinking, no, let me go and become. You went to school, you have a degree, you have your master's, you have your PhD. You're still thinking, okay, you know what, let me go and start from, let me go and start from, what was it called? From a local government. There's nothing bad in you starting from there. But if you feel you have that capacity, you have that experience, you are, why not? You could go for the top, right? Why do I have to start from the bottom or from the lowest? Why do I have to start there? I go from the top, right? And this is it. This is why I sat down I watched that video. I watch it over and over and over again, and I'm just shaking my head that these are the problems of Nigeria. These all our problems, all of them, all past head of state, all past all past head of state, all past presidents that have ruined that country. They all sat in that hall. All Nigerian problems sat in that hall. Babangida invited them all. He's the only man now. Who else can do that? He still commands. That's why I keep saying, sometimes when people say Tinubu is the president, I just laugh. Tinubu is not the president of Nigeria. The president of Nigeria is somewhere seated somewhere. If it's a sane country, right? If it's a sane country, if Nigeria should be a sane country, I believe Babangida should be arrested and investigations should commence straight, because he's already indicted himself with his book that he wrote about the whole thing he did, the annulment of June 12, with the coup. He admitted that's treasonable felony or treason, that's treason, with so many things he admitted in what Oshibajo narrated. That is real raw evidence. Real evidence to jail this man. But Nigeria is a country that anybody, once you have that money and you have that connection, that power, you could sit anywhere, you could say anything and get away with anything. I know people will say, yeah, go and put yourself in trouble then. I was like, yeah, I don't have that connection here and I don't have that power yet. Right? But people that have the power, you can't say that to them. They get away with anything. And I don't know, even with that little gathering that day, if you listen carefully and think deep, maybe they are encouraging the young, I don't know, encouraging the younger generation, the younger military boys. Maybe they should do the same. I don't know. I don't know what they, no, I don't know, because I just don't know. Because you sit down. Or the Oshibajo did justice. He did justice. I'll play a bit of the clip. He did justice. Yeah, he did justice. He did justice. You can see.
Fascinating. Many of the key figures in this book and who shaped the history of our country are here with us today. And that tells another story all by itself. And that is something truly unique about Nigeria. Our ability to move beyond the past, no matter how bitter and no matter how adversarial our past relationships may have been, and to still come together. So seated amongst us here today is General Yakubu Gowon, who became Nigeria's head of state at the age of 32 and led the country for 9 years. His government was overthrown in 1975 by a coup involving the then Brigadier Olusegun Obasanjo and the then Brigadier Theophilus Danjuma, and the author himself, I confirm, the then Lieutenant Colonel Babangida, who was then commander of the newly formed Armored Corps. Also involved in that coup were the then Lieutenant Colonels Muhammadu Buhari, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Bello, who is here also, and Lieutenant Colonel Sani Sami. Yet here we are today with former President Obasanjo, General Danjuma, and of course the author himself present, not as adversaries of the author, but as witnesses to history, celebrating a fellow statesman. In a striking turn of fate, the author notes that it was President Obasanjo who, after the tragic assassination of General Murtala Mohammed, insisted that a young Lieutenant Colonel Babangida be appointed to the Supreme Military Council, making him its youngest member at the time. Also, also represented here is the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari, another leader whose path intertwined with Babangida. It was former President Babangida who played a key role in the coup that brought President Buhari to power in 1983, and later in another coup that removed him and brought Babangida himself into power. Yet today, President Buhari is represented at this occasion, celebrating the man who overthrew him and detained him for 3.5 years, his one-time old adversary, former President Babangida. And then, of course, there's a gentleman here who was an elected senator in 1992 in the course of Babangida's transition program. When Babangida annulled the 1993 election and General Abacha took over and dissolved the Senate, that senator tried to reconstitute the Senate in resistance to the dissolution. He was detained, charged to court. He escaped into exile. Today, he is also here to celebrate with his former tormentors. But as president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The third reason why this 420-page book is important is because it unveils one of the most enigmatic...
Yeah, you hear a bit of the video. He literally narrated the whole crime that happened from the early 70s of present. He narrated it within, I think the short clip was about 4 minutes. So he narrated that 4 minutes as in to just, it's sad, right? It is sad that we can still sit down here and, as well enlightened and well educated people, right? Well exposed people, and still sit down here and listen to this crime, and everybody's just applauding the whole thing. It is Nigeria, right? It is Nigeria. It is Nigeria. Nigeria is only a country that once a criminal gets power, they become more powerful and they become untouchable. That nothing could touch them, nothing could happen to them. But if an ordinary man like me maybe I go and steal 1,000 naira, right, for instance, the way they will beat me, hey God, the way they will beat the hell out of me. But that is how that is why they said, they always say in Nigeria that you need to move with the right people. If you don't move with the right people, then you won't be able to get away with murder. You won't be able to get away with some things in Nigeria. So that clip is I'm still going to be talking about that clip, that launching. I'm still going to talk about it. It's something I really want to talk about because I want to have that discussion, What do anybody think? What's your opinion? What's your take on that crime exposure or expose of crime that was launched? Because it's an expose of crime that was launched, right? And we all sat down laughing, talking about it. At least I even heard somebody was like, yeah, at least he came out to admit on what he did. Then he needs to pay the price of what he admitted to. If I come out and admit to something that people have always been doubting, did I do it? Did I not do it? And they couldn't do investigation properly on it. Then I come out boldly to say, well, I hold my hands up. This is me. This is what I've done. I believe the law should take its course, right? I believe the law should take its course. And so we can have a fair, a fair country. All of them there, all of them need to be arrested. Trust me, all of them. They need to be arrested. All of them need to be investigated one by one. You see all the names that Oshibajo mentioned, right? All the names he mentioned, they are all criminals. Allegedly criminals. They should be arrested. But of course, this is Nigeria now. Which police officer want to go and arrest them? Which military officer want to go and arrest them? They'll say they are being loyal, right? They'll say, if we do that, Nigeria is going to scatter. But Nigeria is already scattered out. Nigeria is already. But people like us that love Nigeria, we always still talk about it. We always still say the way we feel about stuff, right? We always still say, yes, this is the way I feel. This is what I think should happen. Because nobody, even in this Western world, even in Western world, you won't commit a crime and come out, wrote a book about it. The next day, police will, even before you leave that event, some officers will have arrested you and put you somewhere, start the proper investigation, give you to 420 pages of book. Oh yeah, go and break it down. Let's start seeing all the crime that was committed in that book, that was exposed in that book. They start breaking it down. And the funny thing is, it is painful, right? It is painful that at my age, I could still be saying, well, I'm not even hoping to become a politician in Nigeria or to become maybe a governor or a senator or anything in Nigeria. I'm hoping now that my children can become, because trust me, I don't think I want to. I want to dabble into that. I don't think I want to. Nah, it's not what. It's too much. Too much crime around Nigerian politics. Too much crime. Those are the people. You see, we are forgetting something. That clip, that video, and this is high time. All of us collectively, yeah, all of us start. We need to start talking about this because they are all the people that is holding Nigeria at ransom. All of them sat in a hall. All of them sat in a hall. Imagine, all of them sat in a hall. They sat in a hall, right? I'm not going to use my mouth to say anything, but all of them sat in a hall. All the people that is holding Nigeria to ransom. What are you thinking, my brother? My sister, what are you thinking? Man, opportunity comes but once in life, innit? Yeah, opportunity comes but once in life. Because I sat down, I looked at it, I watched that video, I watched the way Oshibajo narrated it, talk about the. But it is Nigeria. It is Nigeria, right? It is Nigeria. These people are billionaires. Did you see how much they raised in that little event? And they couldn't raise that kind of money to build a better hospital for the masses, right? They can't raise that kind of billion to do good roads in Nigeria. But they could raise it in less than 1 hour. They could raise that kind of money to say they want to build a library for this man, right? They could raise that money to say, yeah, for somebody that has committed that lot of things in Nigeria, right? But they can't raise that money to build nice hospital, nice school for the masses. They can't raise that kind of money. And if we talk, right, people will say, well, they still do charity for the poor. Is it by giving them bag of rice or by bag of gari or small gari and rice that will last them for 2 days or 3 days? Or is it by giving them 5,000 naira that you all think you do by doing charity? Listen to the amount of billions they raised. If that's the way they raise it every time, they will have built a nice hospital, nice schools, nice roads, nice infrastructure in Nigeria, right? But these people would not do that because they know if poverty should be reduced in that country, right? If poverty should reduce in that country, everybody will have a say. Everybody will know their right from their left. Everybody will know that, listen, you can't come and bribe me with 5,000 for me to vote for you. Because once that poverty is gone or reduced, because poverty cannot be gone forever, there will still be people that will be poor, right? Because once they do that, once they get rid of that poverty, the mass poverty we have in that Nigeria, right? Once they get rid of it, the fact is they won't be that rich anymore because people will now have sense. People will be able to work. People will be able to establish business and make money. People will be able to afford their daily life, their daily income. People will be able to afford things, right? But with the way they systematically make everybody, literally all the country, to be poor, only like 3 or 5% that is a bit okay, but the rest are poor. So that system that they did, right? What they did in that country is they know that once poverty is at its minimum, you and I, or the man, the woman selling rice, selling tomato, selling pepper on the roadside, we not vote for them based on the money they are going to give during that election. We vote based on intelligence, right? We vote based on their manifestos, right? That's what you will vote for, not, oh, because this person spend more money than this person, so I would rather vote for this person because they pay me well, right? Because that's is all a deal. So they know what they are doing. Even in church, it's the same thing. Even in religious settings, it's the same thing. Because we sit down in the religious thing, you look at it as well and say, let's say they build a good school, right? And say, okay, pay the minimum and we will sponsor it. Once everybody could afford a good school, a good health system, trust me, good health system, good school, everybody will not be dying in church 24/7, right? So it's all systematic. They know what they are doing. And this is the strategy of most of these rich people, or these people in power, rather. This is their strategy. This is the way they operate, especially they operate in Africa, in Nigeria. That's the way they operate because they want you to have that poverty mindset. So if you speak and challenge them, they will say it's because you can't afford. It's because you can't afford that. That's why you are speaking that way, right? So for me, I sat down, I keep looking at it that. So these people, Dangote, all of them could raise money, this huge amount of billions for someone like that, right? For someone like that to build a library. But they couldn't be raising that kind of money. Maybe once a year or once in every 5 years. Imagine they've been raising that kind of billions every 5 years or every 2 years to do something in Nigeria. Nigeria will have been sorted out. We'll have had good roads. We'll have had good electricity. We will have had, crime will have reduced. We will have had good hospital. Even if we have to be paying incentive towards that medical system, right? People will pay it as little as that's what most country does, right? Insurance, medical insurance, and all that. But where is even if you pay for that medical insurance, they still don't have the facilities. Everything in Nigeria, when it comes to your health, if you're sick, they first of all diagnose you and say you have typhoid. From typhoid, you have malaria. From malaria, they'll say you have appendix. From appendix, that person is already gone. You understand? So it's crazy. It is crazy, right? It is crazy. And I wish we could just sit down and start reasoning before 2027. 2027 should be another better, election, better time. And we should start in now. We should start having that conversation of challenging our politicians, holding them to responsible of any wrongdoing they are doing. We should hold them responsible. We should start talking about it. Let's start talking about it. Because for me, every time I listen to Nigerian news, I feel sad. We have good people. We have people with very good. They are very intelligent, right? But that country is the way it is because of those people in that horn. These people, they hold us to ransom. They are the people holding us to ransom. They are the people making us to debate ourselves. Those divide and rule. If we don't talk about religion, we talk. You can see there is. Don't let me even go there. See all of them. Babangida, Obasanjo, what's his name? All of them, they were there. All of them. So you can see that they are all friends. When we say they are friends, it's only politics. When it comes to politics, that you see them, you see that they all be challenging. They'll be challenging each other, making you feel like, oh, they are real enemy, but they are not. When it's time to donate money for themselves, right? They come together. When it's time to applaud themselves for their wrongdoing, they come together. When it's time for anything bad or anything they believe it should be, they all come together as one. They all don't say, oh no, this person. They don't do that. But we, citizens, we are the one that go against ourselves. Right? We go against ourselves. So anyway, it was nice having this nice chat with you guys this morning again. It's just me, M27 at G, right? So, and if this is your first time of joining me, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. And if you're the returning fan, returning friend, because I don't like that word fan, returning friend, right? Thank you. I appreciate it. And it's high time we all start thinking collectively to make that country better. Peace out.